Welcome back to Disco. We have solved the jam mystery, I believe. Report back to Joyce. Sure. Yeah, we found what could be a kindred spirit lady friend who works for Titus Hardy, is involved with drug smuggling, dyes her hair cool colors, and has vanished. Possibly bought our gun. I wonder if she scared the pawn shop owner. I don't know. Anyways, Kim wants to talk before we go talk with Joyce, so let's talk with him before we go back to Ms. Messier.
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
I concur.
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
Indeed.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Okay. Used to tap into RCM networks? Yeah, I just assumed it was it was a way to connect between fleets so that no one else can access, those frequencies. Huh.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Oh boy.
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Absolutely.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
Indeed. What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well...
He doesn't say more.
Unimportant.
Unimportant. So it turns out this is connected to the Union.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
The lady being involved with the lynching, though, I mean... Drug motivations for murder exist,
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
Okay. Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Okie doke.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking, Kim?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
You thinking corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over?
Debrief over. After you.
As is tradition. We just want to work. Thank you, Scabs. All right, Tommy, thanks again. Sorry I destroyed your humanity. To Joyce. Wonder if she eats dinner. Who knows? And I guess we're probably fine on what we're wearing. Actually, no, let's put on our other patrol cloak so we can know thy neighborhood. And sounds good. Everything else is good.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are those eyes discovered? Where exactly are those eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologise for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
The scabs?
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
Sure.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
Indeed.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
Don't worry, ma'am. We're the best in the biz.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Yes, what was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Huh.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Really, Kim? All right. I concur.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Tell me again, how are the lynching and the strike connected? Do I have to ask her that? Nah, that's enough.
No. We need to discuss this now. There isn't time to waste. Bloodbath, remember?
All right, whatever.
She sips from her thermos.
All right, so, okay, tell me again, how are the lynching and the strike connected like we don't already know?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
I see, we are pretending to her that we don't already know this. Okay. A momentary lapse in faith?
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Was that the give them the entire company, basically?
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
I see, and do you feel you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Sure.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
Interesting. Oranese military company. Where have I heard that name? I think it's just in one of the loading screens. It tells you how to pronounce it. And then Crenell is the name of the company, which I don't think I've heard that name before. And it's interesting they don't answer to Joyce. So who do they answer to? I mean, obviously Crenell, but who does Crenell answer to? Obviously Wild Pines. But who in Wild Pines specifically? Are they radioing someone? I don't know.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
Yes, I see the situation. It all fits with what we've heard from your opposite, your counterpart, Titus Hardy. He told me the exact same thing.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
She doesn't have the full story we know. I almost wonder if the woman shot him, you know? But it seems like it was perfectly, done so that no one would notice it. What then?
Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What? Crenell, will execute Titus Hardy and whatnot.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
I have to say, this is not disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
You think their armor will protect them?
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
Fair.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
Sure.
As I said, a bloodbath.
I can't see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first.
Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
I don't know what you're referring to, miss.
All we can do is keep that which is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
All right. Where are the remaining 2 mercs now? This seems the most pertinent to my investigation.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
We will confront them directly.
Did you miss the part about ceramic armor and automatic weapons, Detective?
Let me at 'em.
That is a bad idea. One I won't be a party to.
Where are these mercenaries?
One is obviously the Scab Leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
You know, I think I had a similar idea on my own. Thank you, Logic.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Yes. Let's say that one first. One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout. You said they were keeping eyes on me.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Practically or completely?
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
She nods toward the sloop's cabin. All right, yeah, and the other one is that goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the Scab Leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
That's what I do, my dear.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Honestly, kind of fits my mood.
Of course it bothers me,
Oh, he's asking her.
but my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Indeed, just following orders, are we?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
What can you tell me about this Crenell?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Okay.
They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
They have access to foreign guerrilla workers' firearms, yes?
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Right, yeah. They're bad guys, we knew that. Interesting she says all the good conflict corridors, not all the high conflict corridors. Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
Are we thinking the same thing, Joyce?
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
She's still thinking.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
Yeah, seems like it.
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenell.
Could you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
Well, hell, I'll go tell them their orders. How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
Huh.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Okay. So this game is not going to be 7 times as long as it's been. What is this, episode 26 or something? Yeah, this is a long game, surprisingly. But still, matter of days, not weeks, so that's good. All right, the Colonel, the one who was hanged. Did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name?
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
This Lely, anything else? Nationality? How old would you say he was?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Sure.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. We're Occidental, too, along with a racist lorry driver. I think I found that out last episode. I don't know.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Or was Kim Occidental? I don't know. All right. And finally, you said this man assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on, then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
Okay, wait. I'm so confused. Contractors are these men, right? The 3 men? So the 2 remaining military contractors? Or is contractors referring to something else? I'm so confused. Their tribunal? So, okay. So the union told her, or the word on the street is that he assaulted a woman, and Joyce is saying that he didn't. She was told from some teenagers who passed along information from the military guys that she's now calling the tribunal, believe that he did not assault anyone. So, yeah, what exactly did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The remaining contractors, who's she talking about? The canal? People working on the canal? Sorry, does she refer to him as a contractor anywhere? No. Shoot. Anyways, continue.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
I feel like that's what I'm doing. Like, I've been taking notes, right? No, I haven't been taking notes. What is happening?
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching.
Kim, you're forgetting.
Where did it take place? And when?
Kim, we already talked to Titus Hardy. He told us the lady was assaulted. He's being sneaky, perhaps.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
Sure.
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
Okay, this, we were told, was different from the rape that occurred. They told us that he raped someone. And then later, they said he sexually assaulted someone at the Whirling in Rags, and then I took care of it, right? Like the fat Angus guy took care of it. And then we were like, oh, is this the sexual assault you were talking about? And he was like, no, there was no rape. I took care of it. Remember, I took care of it. Interesting. Okay, and who is this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Could it be Sylvie, who worked at the Whirling in Rags last Sunday night? Or could it be our lorry driver lady? Well, in any case, it seems that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Yeah, that did not help with anything, did it? We can talk with teenagers to find out about the sexual assault some more. And, yeah, I see. So, she's hearing about a sexual assault from his colleagues, his two military guys. They think that it's about the sexual assault. Titus Hardy said it was kind of about a whole bunch of things, including a rape, which was different from this sexual assault. So his colleagues are possibly not telling the whole truth about what he was doing badly, or Titus Hardy was making stuff up. Both are probably true, honestly. Titus Hardy was making stuff up, and the colleagues believe better about the colonel than is true. Anyways, now, Joyce, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
That's interesting. Thank you, Perception. That was challenging, huh? A working woman, cut short and fractured. She has given us quite the picture of a hard ass.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
I guess I'm a little tired at this point. Let's just stay quiet and observe.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Can't pronounce that, so I won't even try.
Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Delorian century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map now?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
So it's some sort of a superstition or religious thing or spiritual thing. What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
Yeah, you did tell me you thought he was Oronese.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. I wonder if this has some special significance to him. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
This is when they started taking boats around to all the different continents or whatever?
You said you can't read it.
Astute observation, Kim. You can very much read this, Rejoice.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
I see, yeah. If he was no sailor, then why does he have it? Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Sure.
Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Yeah, I need the information. Let's mark it down. Ask the mercs about tattoos.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
And that's all for the tattoos, I suppose. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Thank you, Rejoice. That's all for now. People call me Detective Dubois. I better call her her name she doesn't like. Wow. 30 minutes in this episode. That means there is time to go talk to the Scab Leader. We get to skill up. I think we're also close to another skill point, which is nice. I will save the skill point. We desperately need money. How the heck do we get money? And if we run out of morale at this point, we die. Because I don't have any... whatever. So I guess I save... What gives me morale? The Pyrolidon. So I have one charge of Pyrolidon. I'll use that in an emergency. And that should give me an extra morale to heal up. Well, let's go talk with the Scab Leader to close this episode out. I'm assuming he has something exciting for me. But who knows? And it's getting late. It's going to be time to say goodnight to Kim after this, I believe. And then we can go get the boots off the dead boy. And... is there something else I wanted to do without Kim? Maybe go talk to Kuno again. But man, I can't do that without some sort of hypnogamma here. You, leader, Scabs. I got a beef to pick with you.
right to work! Shame on you!
Oh, hold on, actually. Hold on. I'm just gonna leave. Hold on. We gotta get ready for this. It's a tool. My beer is a tool that I use. Come on. Let me drink. Is it that I need an Astra in the hand? No. Do I need to move? Oh, what is the secret? I've not been able to find out the secret. Ah. Is that vodka? No, that must be the beer because it has 3 charges, right? Hopefully that's the beer. Yeah, now we can do the other one. Oh, that gets rid of a morale. Ooh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, boys. Should I hold this in my hand in case I run out of morale, or should I drop it so that we have +1, suggestion or something? Let's leave it in the hand. I'm worried about dying. All right, you.
To work!
Shut up.
To work! Shame on you!
Aren't you a mercenary hired by the Wild Pines?
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
Oh, I understand.
His neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge.
Interesting. Be careful. He's holding it deep in, but there are things in there you don't want to meet. Well, all right, Half-Light. Well, this is careful. Let's say it very quietly so no one else can hear. Is there a tribunal being convened by any chance?
Fucking bug.
He breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating and his mouth slightly open.
A punch is not imminent, but it's being cocked hard. You hear a tiny rattle, a small radio cracking somewhere. An earpiece.
Interesting.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
Alright.
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow.
This is
Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on. It's hard to do that when you want to beat a man into a pulp instead.
It is hard. What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably at this point. We're under his skin, baby. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right.
Okay, stop.
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath this tight fitting
Ooh,
shirt.
very nice.
This man is in shape.
Sure, we knew that.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Like, this isn't his normal wear. That's what you're saying? Is that what ill-fitting means?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes, bud?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his.
Yeah. We got him. We got him pegged.
As he does, he stomps his foot on the pavement and... Stop everything. Look at that sweet pair of boots on his feet. They would absolutely complement your soul, would let your style fly even higher.
Legendary savoir-faire check succeeded. Let's go. Sweet boots, I require details.
Boots, black in color, crafted of hardened leather, if you had to guess. They look sturdy and stable, useful in rugged environments.
Can I take them?
Imagine what you could do with boots like this. Not be a little fucking weakling baby, for starters. There are boots for muling, and there are boots for smashing shit.
There are indeed. Which one? This one or super sweet? I think savoir-faire. This is savoir-faire. This is physical instrument. Damn, you're right. Super sweet. Where can I get in on this badass boot fashion?
Ask the man. Ask around. The doors of good taste are open to you. Be in vogue.
Those are some sweet boots, man. Can I have them?
No.
Come on, why not?
Establishment hasn't had its fill, is that right? First they obstruct our work, then they come for our shoes.
Oh, I'm hardly the establishment.
That's what they always say, before stabbing you in the back. You want boots? Go find your own.
Can you tell me where?
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Like this one again? Are you a mercenary? I don't...
Hell no.
His neck muscles tense up.
Okay, back up.
The man's breathing. It's hard to do that when you want to beat a man into a pulp instead.
Yeah, I don't know how to ask him where he's from. Okay, anyways, I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos. Let's take out the picture.
Don't think so.
Which one is more annoying to him? It was your colonel.
Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. Hard as a stone, but beneath it.
He's about to punch me, huh?
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
So can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
He points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach. This is not something Joyce cared to tell us about.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here?
He squints at it. It's so small. Yes.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
Graphic content warning, guys. Are we going to lose morale? I'm going to not interrupt and let's hear it.
Our boy. He's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon.
His voice gets strangely quiet, a long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper.
At dawn, he comes upon two kips, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding. We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old.
Okay, this isn't useful. You knew him, right?
What's the matter, militiaman? No stomach for it? This man was worth 1,000 loincloths. We're done talking here.
Yeah, I think I got his measure and yours.
I think we should maybe even get going now.
Let's get going now. Perfect timing as day 2 ticks over into 2100. That means we can't... Sorry, that running in place cracks me up every time. We can go to the Whirling in Rags and say goodnight to Kim, is it? I forget how to do that. Maybe we confront him about the drug trade while we're in there. If he's in there. If he's in there, we'll do that. And that'll happen next time. Oh, we can go pick up the dice from the dice maker. Hopefully I won't forget that. And we'll do it next time. See you then.